All right, so today we are diving deep
Deep
into the world of, you know,
love.
love, relationships, and
Red flags.
yeah, red flags.
Big red flags.
Exactly. We're taking a look at an episode of the podcast Love Linkage, and they had an episode all about
Doomed relationships.
doomed relationships. Yeah,
How to spot them.
yeah, how to spot those relationships that are maybe
Headed for disaster.
going south. So we're gonna try to decode those signs and see if we can maybe,
Help you avoid.
help you avoid them, or maybe even
Identify some.
identify some. Yeah.
In your own life.
Exactly. So I got to say, this Love Linkage podcast, they're pretty entertaining, right? They got these like
Really catchy titles.
catchy titles that are like smash that like button.
Yeah, lots of energy.
Tons of energy. But,
You actually get into some,
they actually get into some pretty deep stuff.
some real relationship dynamics.
Yeah. So don't let the kind of surface level stuff fool ya. They've got some good points in there. So first sign they talk about is walking on eggshells. And I think we've all been there, right? Where you feel like you can't really be yourself.
Yeah, you're holding back.
Holding back.
Afraid to speak up.
Yeah, afraid to like say what you really think or feel because
You don't know how your partner's going to react.
exactly.
And that really gets to this idea of psychological safety.
Yeah, I was just going to say
Which is so important in a relationship.
so important, so important.
Because if you don't feel safe
to be yourself,
to be yourself, to express your needs,
to disagree.
to disagree,
Yeah.
then how can you really have like true intimacy?
Yeah, you're not really connecting.
You're not.
You're walking on eggshells like they said.
Exactly.
And that actually leads perfectly into the next sign, which is doing all the work. I think, again,
Who hasn't been there?
who hasn't felt that, right? Where it's like you're always the one
Initiating,
planning.
putting in the effort.
Yeah, or like bringing up the hard conversations, the issues that need to be addressed.
Yeah, it's all about reciprocity, right?
Reciprocity.
Like a seesaw,
Oh, I like that.
Both sides got to put in the effort to keep it balanced.
Yeah.
And if one person's always giving and the other person's always taking,
Resentment builds up.
yeah, absolutely.
And it can show up in like all these little ways, right? Like
who plans the dates?
who plans the dates?
Who initiates contact?
Yeah, who's doing the emotional labor?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so love linkage also brought up some like really
Tough stuff.
tough stuff, like deal breakers.
Yeah.
The third red flag they talked about was lack of trust.
Ooh.
And they pretty much said, like, if you don't have that,
You're done.
you're done.
Toast.
What do you think?
I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like rebuilding trust,
So hard.
it's incredibly difficult. It's like trying to
Put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
yeah, or like glue a shattered vase.
Yeah.
You can, kind of make it look whole,
Yeah.
but the cracks are always going to be there, you know?
Right.
And it often points to some like deeper issues that need to be addressed. Like
Well.
maybe there were breaches of fidelity.
Yeah.
Maybe there was, repeated dishonesty.
Sure.
Or maybe there's just a fundamental mismatch in values.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep. Okay, so moving on. They also talk about growing apart.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It's a class.
It's that feeling of like drifting, you know?
Yeah, like you started on the same path, but
You're heading in different directions.
different directions.
And this is where it gets interesting because
Yeah.
sometimes growing apart can actually be
Healthy.
healthy. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we all evolve as individuals, right?
We do.
And sometimes that natural growth takes us
On different paths.
on different paths. The key is,
Compatibility.
yes, are you still growing together,
Ah, I see what you mean.
even if you're growing in different ways?
Okay. Or are you growing in ways that just like fundamentally clash
With your partner.
with your partner's values, goals, needs?
So it's not about like avoiding change.
Uh,
It's about making sure you're changing
in compatible ways.
together.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And, all of this can lead to the fifth red flag, which is, I think, the most obvious.
Unhappiness.
Unhappiness, yeah. Like Love Linkage was very clear about this, they said.
If you're not happy,
You gotta face the music,
face the music. It's easy to, kind of get caught up in
trying to fix things.
trying to fix things.
Trying to make the other person happy.
Yeah. And you forget about
Yourself.
stuff.
And, neglecting your own happiness.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It is. It's like trying to run a car on an empty tank.
Yeah. Eventually it's going to break
Right.
down. It's going to break down. So I think the big question here for our listeners is,
Do any of these resonate with you?
yeah, do you see any of these red flags in your own relationships? And I think, what I really took away from this love linkage episode is that
These aren't
the
necessarily
end of the world.
the end. Yeah, it's not a death sentence for your relationship.
Right.
I think it's more about like seeing them as opportunities
To grow.
to grow, exactly,
Well,
to
yeah.
have those hard conversations, to reevaluate your needs,
Right.
and to really decide, like, is this relationship serving me?
Right. Serving both of
It's
us.
serving both of you.
Yeah.
Because recognizing these signs early on
Can lead to.
a healthier, more fulfilling relationship.
Whether it's with the same person or,
Or someone new in the future.
yeah. So, food for thought.
Food for thought.
Thanks for tuning into this deep dive. See you next time.